Let me bring in from New York Nitin Kartik, who's a traffic expert at TomTom, who actually drew up this travel index. And this is absolutely fascinating, just going through some of the data. But just answer, first of all, I mean, in the worst of the places, how much time are people actually wasting? Mexico City, which is top of the list, for example.
Absolutely. In fact, what's interesting, Matthew, is when you look around the world, people are wasting hundreds and hundreds of hours stuck in traffic. You mentioned Mexico City, which we declared as the traffic capital of the world, where people are wasting 227 hours every year sitting in traffic. Now, if you think about that and juxtapose it with a 40-hour work week, that is a month of work hours that people are stuck in traffic. Imagine if people had a month back in their lives, they could go take a vacation, they could go do something else. So we think that it's very important to provide such information. At TomTom, we take the glass half full perspective, which is, hey, this is a sign of a growing world economy. In many of these places where traffic congestion is up, people are going back to work, unemployment is going down. And there are really two reasons that we see why some of these differences exist in different parts of the world. One is on the supply side in terms of infrastructure. The other is on the demand side in terms of people actually getting on the roads. On the supply side, infrastructure, we see that in the US, for example, there's $64 billion a year in spending on road transportation. That is more than, if you look at the OECD reports, more than the next 12 countries combined.
Well, that's sort of quite an optimistic way of looking at data that you yourself have collected. I'll come back to a couple of those points in a moment. You talked about infrastructure. Just in 30 seconds for us, can infrastructure ever keep pace with the sort of traffic numbers, congestion from your figures that seems to be just growing exponentially?
That's true, Matthew. In fact, when you look at it, it seems very staggering. Again, we at TomTom take the glass half full perspective, and we are very confident at TomTom that agencies and authorities will make the right choice, will make the smart choice, and lean on the private sector, companies like TomTom, to provide data to help build the right level of infrastructure. Gone are the days when you can have tremendous government spending on very expensive infrastructure, and we believe private sector solutions will be able to
Gone is our time. Nitin, there from New York, thank you. Mason here in the studio, thanks to you as well. We're back in a moment. Don't go.